Hey everybody, thank you for coming to watch this channel today. I just wanted to do something different, and I was a little hesitant in making this video because it's a little bit personal. Owning a home has changed my life personally, so I'm not just a real estate agent. I've been through the process before, and so I know how this has affected me in my life. If you live in Colorado Springs or really anywhere, I think that this is a great opportunity to build wealth for yourself and create a life that you love. So if you're spending at least $1,600 or more on rent, then you definitely need to tune in and listen to what I have to say. It's gonna set you up to have something amazing and incredible in your future. So today I'm gonna talk about how I made almost $90,000 just owning my home instead of renting. So stay tuned. And hey, if you are watching this video, will you please let me know where you're from? I'm really curious to see where everyone is from. Before I bought my first house, I was young, broke, sad, and I had no clue what I was doing in life. My credit score was a 480 and my car was overheating. I owed 2 months in rent because I spent all of my money shopping, so embarrassing, for clothes. Please don't judge me. It was such a sad sight. I was careless and I didn't really fully understand the consequences of my finances and my future. I was making good money as a manager at a tuck shop and I didn't know how to manage my money, and even worse, I had no self-control when it came to spending. Then I got married and everything changed. Fixing my credit was priority one to establish a better future for us. I gave myself spending money but didn't use a debit card for a whole year. We paid off all of my debt and got my credit score up and healthy. Then around the time of my divorce, I got my score up to 804, and I was even shocked myself. But this allowed me to get a house with very little down payment and a mortgage of $680 on my own. My townhouse was $165,000, and I used the American Dream loan from US Bank and put about $5,000 down that I had saved up with tax refunds. And then of course I lived with my brother for a year, so shout out to my brother for helping me out. This was many years ago, but I was so determined to be independent. It was a lot of hard work and discipline, but I pulled it off, and it was worth every sacrifice. To say that I bought my own house with my own money was something that no one could ever take away from me. But why is it that everything that is amazing in life is an uphill climb, it seems? Wanting to lose weight, deny yourself the goodness of nothing but cakes, my favorite, and macaroni grill. If you want to get accepted into a great college your parents went to, study every second of every waking hour. Want to have a baby? Go through excruciating labor and then months of pain and constipation after. Want to own a home and build wealth for yourself? Spend a fraction of what you spend. Wear your clothes until they fall apart and stop chasing the next designer bag. Save money and make good financial decisions. And for crying out loud, have some self-control. This is what it took for me to be able to buy my own house. It all started for me with a prepaid credit card. I went to the bank, applied, used the card, paid it off a million times around. My limit was $300, and from there I paid off my debt. I wasn't buying expensive clothes. I was at Ross, and far less frequently than before. So a little bit about me to understand my background. I lived with my grandmother growing up. I moved to the Springs about 30 years ago and moved in with my mom. My mom is the hardest working person that you'll ever meet, but there was a time when we struggled. And I'm talking 4 of us in a tiny 800 square foot 2-bedroom apartment with mice and roaches. Oh, and a crackhead who locked me in a bathroom next door. Long story. I remember waking up to a fire truck in the middle of the night because someone threw a Molotov cocktail into one of the units we had next door, and we had to evacuate. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. I recall my brother and I sitting in my mom's old, unreliable car outside in our pajamas under a dark sky, watching huge flames come out from one of the units inside the apartment building. It was so crazy. I knew growing up that I would want the very best for my own kids. And since I moved from school to school and could never make friends, and the friends I did make, I had to leave. I got in trouble at school, suspended, and even ended up dropping out of high school so I could work and live on my own. So when I say home means everything to me, I mean it. I'm so grateful today that I can say my kids, they've been in the same school all their precious little lives, and I get emotional thinking about it. I haven't rented a home since 2005. I bought a townhouse and basically paid the same as rent. We used a first-time homebuyer program that helped us get into the house and then upgraded to a bigger house, and both of these homes sold I actually went in, I went through all of my seller proceeds from when I sold the house. And so my first townhouse, I ended up selling it for $115,000. The mortgage balance that was left on it was $84,500. So that came out to $30,000. And I was even shocked when I was reading this myself because I just didn't even think about it. So $30,500. And then the next house that I sold it for $192,500. This was right before the Colorado Springs market got crazy. So these are like have gone up. That mortgage balance was $156,800 roughly. So I profited $35,700 on that house. I paid off all my debt. I bought a car, like I did all these crazy things. But and then the townhouse that I upgraded to, like when I got my divorce, it was a bigger townhouse. So that one I bought for $165,000, I believe, and I had it for a year. The mortgage balance was $163,000 roughly, and I sold it for $186,000, and I profited $22,900. And if you total that up, guys, that is $89,100. Now, granted, this is over time. I bought my first house in 2005, so that was a long time ago. But if you think about it, you know, I lived there for a few years. I didn't pay anything different from rent. And yes, we had to fix the things that needed to be fixed as they came up. But at the end of the day, when you're making over $20,000 when you sell it, it's really worth it. And you can make the house your own. So if you want to paint it some wild and crazy color, you can do that. If you want to upgrade and get tile instead of linoleum, you can do it. It's your house. You can do whatever you want. And everything that you put into your home is going to bring back a return on investment. If you have linoleum and you put tile, that's going to be extra money when you decide to sell it. And so selling that house and then getting a new house for me, was just something that I will never take for granted. Owning a home is a privilege. It's such a benefit. That's why I wanted to make this video, because even though I feel vulnerable, I just feel like if more people knew that you could make this kind of money, that's my whole point, is that I owned it for a while, sold it, made money, used that money to either pay off debt or buy a bigger house. If you do plan on doing something like this, you definitely want to make sure that you are going to be living in your house for quite some time. So a few years is going to be good. You want to live there for a few years. If you're only there 6 months to 18 months, then it's probably not a good investment for you to do, because by the time you come back around and sell it, you're going to have realtor fees, you're going to have transferring title and ownership fees and things like that. So anyway, that's how I did that. And that's why I am a huge advocate of home ownership, because it's something so special. You also get a tax break on your taxes. Being a homeowner, you can write off your interest. And so there's a lot of benefits. I can go on and on and on, but I also wanted to share that anyone can do it. If someone like me, who came from my background, who didn't have a lot growing up, can own a home, anyone can. I think that if more people like me were aware of how capable they are in buying a home, that you don't need 20% down, you don't even need 10% down. I paid 3% down. That was only $5,000. And granted, it was a while back before the market got really crazy, but there's still stuff that you can buy. Start small, buy a little townhouse, and then wait a few years, sell that, and just kind of like work your way up to that dream home, to that 6-bedroom home where all the kids can have their own room. You may not be able to get the home that you want right away, but you make it into something that you love. And that's something that I did with all of my houses, is that we upgraded the tile, we upgraded the bathroom, we painted, we did all these different things to make the house nicer and something that we wanted, the colors that I wanted, the finishes that I wanted. All that stuff you can add in when you own the home. So it may not be perfect when you go look at it, especially in this competitive market where everybody wants to buy the home that's pristine and perfect. If you just see the potential that the home has, as long as there's nothing crazy going on with it, like the foundation issues or there's, you know, cracks in the ceiling or something like that. But if it's something that you can overlook, like bad carpet or countertops that aren't amazing, you can put those in. So overlook those things, because that's going to give you the advantage. So anyway, I'm so grateful for you guys. I hope that you learned something today. And if you want to learn more and hear more about real estate, then please subscribe to this channel, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.